3 minutes. It's 3 minutes past 6. Good evening. I am Jennifer Agogo with the news. Senate asks IGP to investigate and prosecute foreigners maltreating Nigerians. House of Representatives to appeal court. House of Reps to appeal court order removing Section 84 from Electoral Act. Non-service of court papers stalls hearing in Abakiari's extradition proceedings. PENCOM sanctions 28 employers over pension non-remittance. Black box of crashed Chinese Eastern jet recovered. And Victor Osimhen assures Nigerians of victory over Black Stars of Ghana. Always log on to www.ozisaradio.com to listen to the news live in any part of the world. You can also watch this news broadcast live on our social media handles. On Facebook, Ozisa 96.1 FM, and on YouTube, Ozisa 96.1 FM TV. The Senate has called on the Inspector General of Police, Osman Baba, to investigate and prosecute foreigners who maltreat Nigerians in various parts of the country. They made the call in reaction to a motion by Senator Degi Eremienyo during Tuesday's plenary in the upper chamber of the National Assembly in Abuja. Senator Degi Eremienyo raised a motion for the urgent need to check the alarming trend of inhuman treatment and torture of Nigerian citizens by foreign nationals in and outside the shores of Nigeria. He cited a case of brutality meted against one Friday Ndubuisi, who works with a security company, and two others, including a Chadian attached to another security outfit in the Gudu district of the Federal Capital Territory. According to the lawyer, the trio were seriously brutalized over an allegation that they stole iron rods, which led to the death of the Chadian national. He further explained that the Lebanese national, who works with one of the companies, ordered and carried out the torture in a bid to get a confession from them. Reacting to this, Senator Issa Jibrin seconded the motion and informed his colleagues that several cases of such have occurred and sometimes unreported. In its resolutions, the Senate condemned the acts committed against the victims in struck terms and asked the police boss to thoroughly investigate these ignoble acts and similar infractions by other foreign nationals on Nigerians with a view of prosecuting them. The Senate also wants the Ministry of Labor and Employment and other relevant ministries, departments, and agencies to take adequate steps to address the labor-related issues in order to expose and curb the trend. Lawmakers in the House of Representatives have resolved to appeal the judgment which directed the Attorney General of the Federation to delete Section 84 of the newly signed Electoral Act. This followed the deliberation of the court order during today's plenary in the lower chamber of the National Assembly in Abuja. The lawmakers insisted that the clause was directed at political appointees and not civil servants, and questioned why the National Assembly was not joined as a respondent to the suit, stressing that the action of the judge was an aberration. While the lawmakers hinted at writing a petition to the National Judicial Council, the Speaker of the House, Femi Gbajabiamila, said he would not allow the National Assembly to be ridiculed. Gbajabiamila therefore appealed to the Attorney General of the Federation not to hastily implement the court's judgment and avoid dabbling into the legitimate functions of the National Assembly. Recall that President Muhammadu Buhari assented to the Electoral Act 2022 on February 25, following a series of attempts by the National Assembly to amend the nation's electoral laws. The President, however, objected to the provisions of Section 84, which stated that no political appointee at any level shall be voting delegates or be voted for at the convention or congress of any political party for the purpose of the nomination of candidates for any election. He later asked the National Assembly to amend a section of the Act, but the request was rejected by the lawmakers. However, on Friday last week, Justice Evelyn Anyadike of the Federal High Court in Umuahia, Abia State, ordered the Attorney General of the Federation to delete this section from the Act. Now to other news, the inability to serve respondents the application by the Attorney General of the Federation on the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kyari, today stalled hearing in the extradition proceedings against him. The extradition suit was filed at the Federal High Court in Abuja by the Attorney General of the Federation, but could not continue today as lawyer to Kyari, Nireni Jimo, told the court that his client has not been served with the extradition application filed by the AGF. AGF's lawyer, Pius Akuta, affirmed the foregoing with the excuse that Abba Kyari's involvement with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency delayed the process. He assured the court that the applicant would effect service on the respondent, Kyari, by March 24 and prayed the court for an adjournment. Jimo, who did not object to the application for adjournment, said he was entitled for it under the court's rules within the time frame. Justice Inyang Epo, however, adjourned till April 27 for hearing of the extraditing proceedings. To the business scene, reports say the National Pension Commission has sanctioned 28 employers for failing to remit 164.56 million pension of their employees during the last quarter of 2021. The company's Director General, Mrs. Aisha Dahir Umar, explained that this is aside the principal contribution of 394.78 million recovered from the erring employers. Mrs. Dahir Umar, who made this known in the Commission's third quarter report, also hinted that the defaulters have been recommended for legal action. She maintained that non-remittance of pension monies is criminal and is punishable by law, and promises to expose employers who default and shortchange their employees. A black box from the crashed China Eastern airliner has been recovered today, and investigators try to add together what made the jet carrying 132 passengers nosedive into a mountainside in southern China. The cause of the disaster has mystified aviation authorities, who have scoured rugged terrain for clues, finding no survivors from what is almost certain to be China's deadliest plane crash in nearly 30 years. The Boeing 737-800 is equipped with 2 flight recorders, one in the rear passenger cabin tracking flight data, and the other a cockpit tracking voice recorder. According to Mao Yanfeng, an official at the Civil Aviation Administration of China, it is unclear whether it is a data recorder or cockpit voice recorder that has been found. Officials have still refrained from declaring all the passengers dead, despite the many twisted metals and charred belongings that has greeted recovery teams on the mountainside. Recall that the Boeing 737-800 plane went down near Wuzhou in southern China on Monday afternoon after losing contact with air traffic control. And lastly, from the world of sports, Nigeria striker Victor Osimhen has assured Nigerians that the Super Eagles are ready to face the Black Stars of Ghana when both teams meet in a 2022 FIFA World Cup playoff on Friday in Kumasi, Ghana. Osimhen said that the Super Eagles would do everything possible to beat Ghana and qualify Nigeria for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar later this year. The Napoli striker spoke to newsmen after Super Eagles' first training session in Abuja on Tuesday, where he expressed belief that Nigeria will triumph over Ghana Due to the hunger in the Nigerian players, he regretted the draw against the Central African Republic and emphatically stated that Nigerian players will not give room for underperformance this time around. Osimhen explained that to win and qualify for Qatar 2022 is the utmost priority of the players. Meanwhile, after Friday's match, Nigeria will host Ghana in the return leg in Abuja 4 days later. And that ends the news. On behalf of the editor, Chinedu Ezenago, and the production team, I am Jennifer Agogo. Many thanks for listening. Good evening.